Hi everyone, one of the hardest things to do when you get home from work is put on the trainers, lace them up and get out the door to go running. So let's get some gear on and head out.
Evening guys, first video and out running, which is what I want to do, what I want to bring you. So first of all, before I start talking about what I'm doing today, and the main idea of this video is to talk to you about the training races that I've got coming up over the next few weeks and months. First of all, I want to tell you a bit more about why we're doing this, and the reason we're doing this is for the organised event called the Norfolk River Rally, sit in a stream event, which is raising money for Little Lifts, which is an amazing charity, which I'll tell you more about in a future video. But every video I post from now on will not only have the Norfolk River Rally sit in a stream page link in the description below, it will also have the link for our Just Giving page, and it will also have the link directly to the Little Lifts website. So please make sure that you go and check that out if you fancy donating and supporting this amazing charity. That would be great. So first off the bat, what is the Norfolk River Rally about? Well, it is swim, cycle or run. It came out of an idea to try and raise money for Little Lifts and to cycle about 300 miles in 4 days and visit every single river and stream in Norfolk. I'm not much of a cyclist, so I said I'd do some running. Hence why I'm training for this barking 24-hour challenge that I've given myself. So that's what lots of others do. Of course, with the sitting in the stream bit, when they visit some of the rivers, there'll be some swimming involved, some wild swimming involved as well. So if you fancy getting along, the routes for the cycle and the rivers being visited and the ones where people will be able to swim, that information will be provided at some point in the future. Also, for my 24-hour challenge, I will be posting the routes that I'll be running. If anybody wants to get sponsored themselves or just fancy coming to join me for some routes. And again, I'll probably do another video in the future on that to tell you a bit more about the routes I'm running and where I'll be. So, the training events that I've got coming up. We'll take a short break, we'll be back and I'll tell you about those. So there you go, first tech malfunction. The battery for some of the stabiliser I bought for my camera to do these videos is packed up already. I'll have to figure that out when I get home. So hopefully you don't get too seasick on this bit. It's starting to get dark now. And I have to put the lights and stuff on in a bit, but it's lovely out here this evening. A bit overcast, not too cold, and nice steady pace tonight. I'm not sure how long I'll be out for, but at least 7 miles, if not more, if I can manage it. Time dependent and how I'm feeling. So, going to tell you about the races and events that I've got booked in as part of my training. So, first weekend in April, the hockey season will have finished by that point, and so on the Saturday I'm doing a 10 miler just round by home. And then on the Sunday, I've got an organised event, a race event in Thetford Forest, which is a trail half marathon. I'm going to be doing that with a good friend of mine. And then first weekend in May, I'm going to be at my dad's in the Peak District, and I'm going to do my first marathon distance, but I'll be doing that on trails up in the Peak District. Nothing too challenging in terms of elevation. And then a month after that, I'll be doing another organised race event, which will actually be my first ultra, which is, when I booked it, it was down as a 50k race in Brandon Country Park near Thetford. But having been sent the details afterwards, actually it's a loop, and you have 6 hours to see how many loops you can do in that time. So that'll be a good one. That'll be good for me to test not only being on my feet for 6 hours running, but also an opportunity to test some nutrition and feeding. So it's something I've got to get right before 24 hours, and I'll do another video in the future on how I'm going to try and approach my nutrition and feeding for the 24-hour challenge. And also, hopefully, the other thing that I will be doing is I will be doing an overnight 12-hour walk, and that's just to get used to being on my feet and moving for an extended period of time. A lot of the kind of advice and guidance I've read is about getting used to that amount of time on your feet, and so that's what that 12-hour overnight walk. And it's also getting used to being in the dark. And in fact, the last few runs I've done, by the time I've got home and got out, it's been dark, and I've been running on these country lanes where there is no street lamps or anything. Getting used to running by the light of my head torch. So yeah, that's what I've got coming up. And of course, in between each of those, so I'm going 13 half marathon front end of April, full marathon front end of May, ultra marathon end of May, beginning of June, and then I have the 24-hour challenge a month after that. So in between each of those key points, of course, I'll be upping my mileage, and once the hockey season's finished, that'll involve quite a few back-to-back runs on a Saturday and Sunday, with probably my long run on a Sunday, depending on how things go. Moon's coming out. It's lovely out here tonight. So one last thing to say on this video is that what I'll be doing is each of those events is I'll be taking you along. And if you've never done a race before and you're a bit nervous about doing a race because you haven't run very much, or you're worried about it being really kind of competitive and a bit intimidating, I'm going to film the experience and hopefully give a good idea of what it's like to take part in a race, because they're an awful lot of fun and a great opportunity to get together with like-minded people and runners. So yeah, I'm going to concentrate on the running now, and I'll see you next time in the next episode. Hold up.